And the Canadians continue to roll with a 5-1 win over the Winnipeg Jets on Rogers Hometown Hockey. Here's Ron.
All right, Jim and Mike, thanks very kindly. A nice weekend for you. As always, our three-star selectors are stars of the hockey scene wherever we go on Rogers Hometown Hockey. We happen to be this week in Sherbrooke, Quebec, and that features Stanstead as well, which is on the border. It's actually a collection of 3 villages, established a lovely scene just below us here. And our 2 selectors, you can see in the handsome red of Stanstead colors here, the Spartans. We have Jeremy Descheneaux, who's a center iceman, who's on the shelf right now with a knee issue, but is a fantastic center ice, not only as a leader, alternate captain on his squad, but as a playmaker and skater. And Hannah Veilleux joins him, and she's a double-A Bantam. The Harfangs are a fantastic program. She actually lives in Stanstead and comes up every day for action here with the AA squad, and is coached by Jocelyn Thibault, who is a legendary NHL goalkeeper. So 2 great players, and we'll get to Jen, maybe you first, and a little bit of Hannah's story.
Okay, Hannah, well, Ron alluded to the fact that you get up quite early every morning. Can you tell us a little bit about your morning routine and how much hockey you play?
I get up at 5:30 every morning to get ready, and then I have to leave the house at 6:30 to make my way to hockey every morning. I have a schedule for every week.
Every week. And so how many days a week are you playing hockey?
Every single day.
Every single day. And you love it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And also we had Sarah Vaillancourt was on the show earlier, and we heard that you had the chance to meet her. How did you get to meet Sarah?
A few years ago, I did a hockey camp, and I was able to do a camp with her, and since then I got...
That's great. And did you learn a few things from her? What did you learn from Sarah? Anything you can think of?
Just keep on working hard.
She is. She always worked really hard. And anything you've learned from your coach, Jocelyn?
You never give up. Even if you're losing 9-0, you never give up.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Well, keep up the great work. It looks like you've got an exciting future ahead of you.
Yes.
Very well done.
And Jeremy, the first thing we all said when we saw your hockey card on television was you look like somebody. Have you ever heard who you look like?
I've heard it a couple of times. I heard that I look like famous Sidney Crosby, so I'm pretty lucky, I guess.
You are a doppelganger, absolutely.
There it is, yes.
And it's a compliment because everything I've heard about you and the role you play is like Sid. So I'd love to hear who are some of the players that you look up to and try to emulate.
Well, obviously, Sidney Crosby is a famous hockey player nowadays. He does a great job both offense and defensively. I like to say I model my game a bit like Jonathan Toews, Patrice Bergeron, kind of a strong two-way forward. I like to play a defensive role. I have no problems with doing so. An offensive role also another option that I like to do, so I really just want to be at the best in both sides of the ice.
You know, Jeremy, it's rare for a young, good player to think about defense. So and to understand defense. I've been around the game as a bystander. I played a little and reffed a lot, but I don't know that I understand the defensive game that Toews and Ron Francis was a guy that comes to mind. Who taught you? How did you learn to cut the ice in half, etc.?
My dad always told me that when the defense would go up the ice, be the one to cover him. So I've learned to play defensively like that, and I just try to do my best so the team keeps the lead when we have it, and really work for it. And
what's your dad's name? My
dad is Michel Descheneaux. He's my dad, and he's been a huge fan of myself and my whole hockey career, so pretty happy about that.
And also at Stanstead, maybe just some of the people who are influences or mentors there.
Well, obviously, Mr. James Veilleux is a great influence for the whole school, and our head coach, Dan Poliziani, who is one of the all-time leading scorers for Yale University, is a great influence for us, and he was the missing piece of the Stanstead puzzle that we had. And from now on, I think the whole hockey program is just going to move forward, and we're eventually going to be able to build one of the best programs in Canada, hopefully.
And I should give you that opportunity, too, to mention some of the players you look up to and maybe some of the teachers you've had.
Actually, Erik Karlsson is a great defense. I love his plays. He uses every single minute, every single second that he has the puck to create a great offensive play. And I just look up to him. I really look at mostly him. I don't have pretty much any other ones.
Do you ever hear of Dennis Potvin? Dennis was a Hockey Hall of Famer who won 4 Stanley Cups in a row with the New York Islanders and did the broadcasts in Ottawa. And he was always amazed at how Erik knew when to take charge. When he would just rush the puck and single-handedly turn a game. He really felt like you do, that he's the catalyst. And he's a 2-time Norris Trophy winner. How about Coach, I mentioned Jocelyn Thibault, who's a legend to all of us. Your family, what are your parents' names and what have they meant to you?
My dad is Louis Veilleux. Since I was a kid, since I was 2 years old, he put me on skates. He taught me how to skate. He's the one that gave me the
opportunity for sure.
Opportunity.
Yeah.
To skate.
But also, I sense you get his passion for it. So
Yes.
that drive comes from him.
And did you teach your brother a few things as well? What's your brother's name?
Alec.
Oh,
Okay,
Alec, yeah,
good.
get in here.
Oh,
Come on in, Alec. We're going to do the 3-star. Yes, come on. You got to
Alec.
be seen. Oh, he's too shy. Okay. The 3 stars, you won the coin toss, Hannah. So who's the 3rd star tonight in Montreal?
The 3rd star is, with the win, filling in for Carey Price from Montreal, Mike Condon.
Excellent. Jeremy, you got number 2.
Second star with 2 goals and 1 assist, and a differential of +3, Thomas Flashman from Montreal Canadiens.
Who wears a great number? Yours, 15. And the number 1 star tonight, Hannah.
The number 1 star is with 1 goal, 2 assists, +3 from Montreal, David Descheneaux.
Mike Condon. We saw him kick the ice tonight. The traders were giving him a "you can do it, kid," and did he ever? It's too bad about the shutout, but here he is with David Amber. David.
All right, Mike Condon, you're making this NHL thing look a little too easy. A month into the league and a perfect 4-0 record. This was your first home start, though. So what's your first impression of playing here in front of the home crowd in Montreal?
Putting on that red jersey, going out on the ice, it's something special. I got to go out there during preseason, but during the regular season, it's a lot different. So a lot of energy, a lot of building, and a lot of fun.
So far, so good for you. You've had the luck and I guess the benefit of being behind Carey Price to have a chance to learn from him. What has he taught you in this first month in the National Hockey League?
Just composure. You watch him every day in practice and in games, and you can never tell where his head's at, or you don't even know if his heart rate is increased or not. So he's just always an even-keeled guy, and he works very, very hard. So he's a good guy to follow.
He's a cerebral guy, and you seem like a cerebral and Ivy League guy as well. What about your journey to this position? Because at times at Princeton, maybe it wasn't thought that you were going to make your way all the way to the National Hockey League. How did you get here?
Just faith and determination. Had a lot of great people, a lot of great influences in my life, and very fortunate for that. Got a lot of good breaks, and just had faith in the process, and not taking any day for granted up here.
Well, so far so good, 4-0 record. Next up will be the Ottawa Senators. Best of luck on Tuesday against them.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.
And David Amber, thank you kindly. Jeremy, I just found out John Goins was really good to us at Dollard des Armeaux last year when we did the Rogers Hometown Hockey Tour stop. His father, Chris, wrote an unbelievable book on Jean Beliveau. So there's a connection.
Yes.
And now you have a chance to play all over the country and into the United States. I think the viewer would find it really interesting what Stanstead does to have a league, a schedule.
Well, it's a very special schedule. I guess we don't have league games every single weekend like other leagues would. All the teams gather at one place at the same time, so we can have we call a league weekend with 4 or 5 games in between. So it's a different schedule, but you get used to it, and it gives for a lot of competition there.
Edge School in Calgary, who else?
St. Francisco in Buffalo is another good school. St. Michael's College, all the way to Ontario. There's various schools from all over, and it's just a great league to be in.
And your team, the Harfangs, are tremendous. What's next for you, Hannah? Who do you guys play coming up?
You have some tournaments, so you can tell us about which tournaments you're playing in this year?
I'm going to be playing at the Le Jeux du Québec, Laval tournament, Sherbrooke tournament, and I think another one.
Good.
Well, you'll knock them dead. Congratulations. 5:30 in the morning, and you're still going strong here doing the 3 stars for us. Fantastic. Hannah Veilleux and Jeremy Descheneaux are star selectors in Sherbrooke this evening. We'll take a short break, come back, and start to point toward Fredericton. Stop number 5 next week. 2 beautiful rivers, St. Francois and the Magog, flow through Sherbrooke as we celebrate Rogers' hometown hockey.